Want an easy way to add more sensory experiences to your menu? Here's an idea. Sugar Foods Crunchy Toppings. It's simple. Sprinkle them on your salads, burgers, bowls, and whatever else you fancy. And just like that, you've elevated the dish. From crunchy jalapenos, fried onions, crunchy dillies, wontons, tortilla strips, to classic crouton crumbles and more. These flavor-packed Crispies could be your menu's next superpower. So get crunching. Check out the full lineup at sugarfoods.com.
Big restaurant chain struggled last year. Another Burger King franchisee files for bankruptcy, and uncertainty is the word of the moment. Welcome to Restaurant Daily, a quick rundown of the day's top industry news from the editors of Nation's Restaurant News and Restaurant Business. I'm RB Editor-in-Chief, Jonathan Mays.
And I'm NRN Editor-in-Chief, Sam Okus. Chain restaurant sales grew just 3% in 2024, according to data from the Technomic Top 500 Chain Restaurant Report. The sales growth, the worst for the chains in the ranking since the pandemic, and lower than any other year outside of that since the Great Recession, was lower than the 4.1% increase in menu prices. One reason for the weakness, the largest chains performed lower than they typically do. McDonald's, Starbucks, and Chick-fil-A, which together account for a quarter of sales from the top 500, each had substandard years. Fast casual chains led sales growth from the top 500 chains with 9% growth last year. No other sector matched menu price inflation. Full service chains, meanwhile, closed more units than they opened amid bankruptcy filings and mass closures.
A big Burger King franchisee has declared bankruptcy. Consolidated Burger Holdings, which operates 57 locations in Florida and Georgia, sought Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection after operating losses in 2023 and 2024 drained the company of cash, and a sale process was unable to yield a buyer. The franchisee also has $14 million in secured debt, which might have something to do with it. Consolidated also recently settled a lawsuit from Burger King over the franchisee's apparent failure to remodel restaurants, according to the franchise agreement. Consolidated plans to use bankruptcy to reduce debt and find a buyer.
Uncertainty is the operative word in the industry, as we heard from two leading franchise operators at RLC. But they are meeting the challenges of uncertainty with innovation. And it's not only on the menu. On the labor front, AI and tech are helping train employees and increase execution. Franchisees are investing in culture to increase retention, with Thrive Restaurant Company placing counselors at 3 locations to help team members with basic skills like opening a bank account. But with all the uncertainty, franchise operators are generally optimistic about the future.
A restaurant culture is not something that can be implemented. It's something employers can seed and nurture, but it needs to be constantly watered. So said a panel of CEOs at the Restaurant Leadership Conference on Tuesday, who shared advice on how they build the culture at their brands. Troy Hooper of Pepper Lunch said operational consistency is key, saying employers need to provide the language and tools to grow culture. Cameron McNee of Hawaiian Bros talked about investments in people, like covering 100% of healthcare premiums for career managers. And Lisa Ingram of White Castle shared how she loves to jump on the grill in restaurants to send a message that all team members are valuable. Hooper suggests letting your team tell you what they want and need. It's about treating them as humans.
White Castle has launched a spring line of merchandise that includes an 8-foot-tall bouncy castle, as well as other items such as pickleball sets, playing cards, lunch boxes, and t-shirts.
Can't wait to see that bouncy castle. And that will do it for today's edition of Restaurant Daily, your daily dose of the most important news of the day in the restaurant industry. I'm Jonathan Mays.
And I'm Sam Okus. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Restaurant Daily. Rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and subscribe. Want an easy way to add contrast to your menu? Add Sugar Foods Crunchy Toppings to your salads, burgers, bowls, and more. From crispy onions and crunchy jalapenos to wontons and then some. These toppings could be your new superpower. Check out the full lineup at sugarfoods.com.